What's good, YouTube? If you don't already know who it is, it's Soren here, repping Asian Aesthetics. Well, thought I might make a small little video on creatine. As you may see in the title, creatine is like a steroid. I'm sure if you're a regular gym goer or if your friends are into gymming, you may have heard the phrase, creatine is like a steroid. Why do I say that? I don't know, but it is definitely not like a steroid. So what exactly is creatine? Creatine is an amino acid that you get in from food such as meat, and it is used predominantly in anaerobic activities. So what will happen is a creatine phosphate chain will break off from ATP, and you will be able to use that as energy for about 10 to 12 seconds. So if you use supplement with creatine, you have more CP stores, which will allow you to go harder for short activities. Well, I guess the biggest myth out there about creatine is that if you stop supplementing with creatine, you will lose your gains. No, that is very far from the truth, because creatine is really only an anaerobic energy source. So if you don't have that energy source, you'll still have your muscle, you'll still be training. As long as you keep training, you should be able to maintain your muscle mass as long as you're eating correctly, training correctly. Anyways, since we're on the topic of creatine, so what type of creatine is most effective? If you guys look on the market, there are so many different types of creatine out there that you don't even know where to start. But basically, creatine monohydrate is the most effective. It's the purest form. It's the form of creatine that's been most researched. So how should you go about using it? Well, there are two methods. You can either load and maintain, or just start off with a maintenance dose. So if you were to load and maintain, you would go with something like 0.3 grams per kilogram per day for the first 5 to 7 days, and then maintain with 0.03 grams per kilograms per day after that first 5 to 7 days. I'll put this in the description below so you guys can have a look at that. And another thing with supplementation, more doesn't always mean better. Sometimes less is more and more is less. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you were to taper in for a sporting match. Would you be doing 4 or 5 hours training the day before the grand final? No. You might go for a half an hour light training session and have a good meal, rest early, and be prepared for the next day. So that goes the same for creatine. Do you need to take, I don't know, ridiculous amounts of creatine for it to work? No. Moving on, many of you guys have messaged me about what supplements I use, so I'm going to get this in on a video right now. Basically, for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been using Gold Standard Whey. I'm sure you guys have seen this everywhere in the supplement stores. It's arguably the best whey out there. The lab tests have proven it to be the most accurate, so basically when it states 24 grams of protein, it's 24 grams of protein in there. But recently, as of last week, because my tub finished, I've started using the natural Gold Standard Whey. So what's the difference between the famous original Gold Standard Whey and this natural one? Is basically they've changed one ingredient, the sweetener. So instead of using acesulfamide potassium, which is an artificial sweetener now used in Diet Coke, Diet Soda, as a replacement for aspartame because of its negative side effects, they've replaced acesulfamide potassium with stevia. As you guys know, is a natural sweetener now used in Coke Life, the green version of Coke. So I thought I might try it out. The taste for chocolate, which is the flavor I have, is pretty good with and without milk. With milk and with water. Tastes a bit like Milo with water. With milk, it tastes like chocolate. It tastes good. It's pretty much the same thing. There's just less flavors to choose from, I guess. The second supplement that I've only just started using, which I'll get onto why I've just started using it, is creatine, like what I'm talking about. So I'm using creatine monohydrate, Optimum Nutritions, and the reason I'm using it is because I finally have enough time to train regularly, which is about 6 to 7 times a week. 6 times realistically, have a rest day in between. And I would be able to test whether or not creatine has a good response with me in terms of strength gains and mass gains. By that I mean, will I be able to bench, okay, right now I'm benching 60 for about maybe 6 reps. Will I be benching 65 for 6 reps in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks time? We'll have to see, because I'll be training regularly and we'll be able to see whether it comes into effect or not. Okay, just want to give you guys a little update on my physique and where I'm going to be heading. I'm planning on starting a mini bulk. Actually, I already started. I started this week. A mini bulk for about 4 to 5 weeks. I plan to put on about 1.5 to 2 kilograms of weight, of mass per week, towards the goal of 75 kilos. So when I hit then, I'll go for a really slow cut back down to 70 shredded. So yeah, that's my physique update for now. I'll let you know how the creatine supplementation goes. I'm thinking of maybe doing a bulking video, giving you guys weekly updates. I'll see how it goes. I might just do a big one at the end of the 4 weeks, or I might do a weekly update. We'll have to see how it goes. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like, comment below, and don't forget to share it with your friends.